Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it, and don't forget to leave us a positive comment in the comment section. Likewise, stick around to the end of the video because I got 2 positive comments I want to read to you guys, okay? Alright, so this is a very interesting question, and I've thought about this a lot, and this person asked me about it the other day. She said, why are so many YouTubers depressed? And she said, as she started to elaborate, she said that she's seen a lot of YouTubers like stop uploading for like weeks or days or months. She's seen a lot of YouTubers upset or crying, that kind of thing. She says she doesn't understand why YouTubers are so depressed. And she was asking me this because she really wants to start a YouTube channel. And she's like, if something about it is detrimental to my mental health, maybe I shouldn't do it. So what is it that's making them so depressed? And I said, well, I'm not really depressed. And she was like, I don't mean you. She's like, but it's a lot of them that are. Have you ever seen? And she started naming different ones. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I had seen all their videos. Some of them I really like. And she's like, I don't understand. Is it the depression caused by YouTube or is it something else? So I told her that from watching YouTube videos, I only know 3 YouTubers in real life. But I watch a lot of the great ones because certain ones I like a lot. Like, for instance, Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson is always in some trouble for something he's done, accused of this, accused of that. But he makes these fire documentaries. To me, they're fire. I watched Jake Paul series, the Jeffree Star series. He did one on Eugenia Cooney. I watched the one he did with the Psychic Twins. I like his content. I like his content a lot. I know they said some of his earlier content wasn't as great, but I mean, whose is? You grow as a person as you get older, so naturally his work is going to grow. So I've seen a lot of them put it like that. And she's like, why is that so common? And the first reason is because a lot of people who come to YouTube have problems. Everybody in the world has issues. So a lot of people who are on YouTube have problems and they don't always share them on their YouTube channel. Some people on YouTube are just personalities. They're acting, Like when I come on YouTube, this is me. People who've met me in person are like, you act exactly how you act on YouTube. They're kind of surprised at that. And the truth of the matter is that if you meet me in person, I curse more. I definitely have a potty mouth, but I'm conscious of that on YouTube, so I don't cuss often. And let me see, I curse a lot more, and that's pretty much it. I'm not as polished either. I'm using a little makeup on or nothing. I got my nails done, but I don't always look this polished. So when you look at somebody like me, what you see is what you get. But all YouTubers aren't like that. Some of them are playing a character that they want to portray to the world. Could be who they are on the inside, or it could just be a character they made up that they like more than themselves. So they come onto YouTube portraying this character. They're not sharing what's really happening in their life, and a lot of them is bad stuff. They could be being abused behind the scenes. You don't see everything. Just because somebody sits in front of a camera and tells you about their life, or they vlog with you, or get ready with you, or whatever, mukbang with you, doesn't mean you know that person. Some of us show our real selves. I show my real self so that you can, it's really to help, it's to help me and to help you. It's because it's hard for me to pretend, number one. I took a lot of acting and theater classes, so I know how, but it's hard for me to be feeling an emotion as an Aquarius and pretend I'm not feeling that emotion. So I've come to find that it's easy just to come out here and be like, look, y'all, I'm upset today, or this happened, or that happened. It's easier to just be honest about it for me. But for some YouTubers, that's not easier. That's actually harder. So they come out and put on their mask, entertain you, and then go back to whatever is wrong behind the scenes. So it could be, like I said, abuse, it could be negativity, it could be anything. Who knows what they're going through when that camera goes off? So a lot of them are depressed because they have messed up lives. Just because you make money, because some of these YouTubers make big money. Some of us don't, you know. Some of us get, you know, a little something, but that's it. But some of them are making millions of dollars. And just because you're rich doesn't mean whatever is going on isn't still going on. Think about it. If you're a poor person and you live with your mother and your father and your brother, and you become a YouTuber and you start making all this money, you're going to buy maybe a nice home, maybe a better area, maybe some cars, maybe some new toys. But whatever dysfunction was already going on, if there was any present, is still going to be going on. Your family isn't going to change because y'all live in a better house. They will change in some ways, like they might start dressing better and things like that. But if there was dysfunction, let's say your father was an alcoholic and he was beating you or yelling at you or whatever the case is behind the scenes. Well, now he just has access to more alcohol. So unless something changes his heart, he's not going to change. So you're doing your YouTube videos and making all this money, and when you turn off the camera, your father's a raging lunatic. It happens. And people don't think about that. Y'all think because y'all see these people on the camera that you know them, and you really don't. You don't know all of us. You know me better than you know a lot of YouTubers. I can tell you that from the door. And without even knowing them, I can feel it. I can see it. You know, I watch things that are going on in the background and people's reactions and things like that, and I peep it. Everybody doesn't. Number two, some YouTubers are struggling with mental illness, and some of them do share it. They talk about their struggles with Shane talks about his struggles with depression. He's on pills for something. Some of them are dealing with anxiety, depression, eating disorders. Shane has an eating disorder too. But there are a whole bunch of other ones. I'm just saying him because I heard him talk about it. But there are a whole bunch of other ones, like Eugenia Cooney. She was dealing with, I think it was anorexia at one point in time. So you have some of them that are struggling with real serious illnesses, disorders, and mental illnesses. And they might share it with you, or you might just see it from their behavior. I was watching this one guy, and I won't say his name because he's very controversial, and I don't want to draw any hatred towards him. But I was watching this one guy, and he was having a meltdown. And I was like, I wouldn't have even uploaded that. Like, he was having, I don't know if he was acting or what was going on. I think he was, I'm going to be honest with you, I think he was having a meltdown, and he recorded it and uploaded it. And I was like, that is not something I would have uploaded. That meltdown was ugly. And yeah, it could help other people who are having a meltdown, but the way it was, I don't think it was going to help anybody. It was just real cringy. It was creepy and cringy, and it made me feel really bad for him. It made me want to call like a therapist and send him to his house, because it made me feel like dog, something ain't right. Something in you is broken, and you need to heal that shit. It was really cringy. Some YouTubers are also depressed because they have stalkers and trolls. Some of the things that people say to us in the comment section are some of the most ugly. I would never say some of those things to a person, and most of those people wouldn't say them to somebody's face. at least not and walk away in one piece. Okay, there are people who threaten us, who call us all kinds of names and talk about our appearance. There are people who, Google us and talk about our families and threaten our family members. I mean, we have people who are really crazy sometimes, and it's not the majority, but it happens. So some YouTubers are depressed, or they might stop uploading, or whatever the case is. And I've heard a lot of them talk about stalkers. One famous YouTuber, I cannot remember her name, was murdered by her stalker. She was at a YouTube event and she got shot. This man came up to, I guess, get an autograph or whatever the case, and he shot her and she died. So some of us are having problems with those kind of things, trolls and stalkers. I don't have a lot of problems with trolls. I automatically hide the user on my channel. But sometimes you do have a person, like the other day, somebody told me I was fake because I wouldn't allow them to use my platform to spew their bullshit. Okay? They had a message they wanted to put out, about some shit that I did not believe in or didn't make no sense to me, and this is my platform, and they got mad because I erased the message, and I was like, nah, you're not spewing that. And it was on Instagram, it wasn't even on YouTube. And then they came to YouTube. Okay, the person sent the message on Instagram, they put it on my page, I deleted it. They wrote it again, I deleted it again. I was like, okay, they don't seem to be getting the point, so I deleted it and blocked them. Then they came to YouTube, and underneath one of my videos that was unrelated, tried to berate me about how I'm fake and they were just trying to do whatever they were just trying to do. I read the first sentence, hide user, and kept it moving. So some of us deal with that, you know, the trolls, they're nasty to us sometimes. I've had people, you know, talk about my hair, my face, my weight, my arms, like all kinds of stuff. But I have a really thick skin, and I don't read hateful comments. As soon as I see that there's some hate in it, I delete it and move on. I delete the person and move on. So a lot of people don't do that. I remember one YouTuber was telling me she responds. I was like, why? Why would you sit there and respond to your trolls and haters? Oh, because I'm trying to get them to understand. They don't want to understand. A troll or a hater is not there to understand you. Now, yeah, sometimes you can win over a troll. Sometimes you can win over a hater. I saw Shane do a video series about confronting his hater and befriending him, which I thought was really an interesting concept. But it doesn't always work like that. And it's very bad for your mental and emotional health to allow somebody to abuse you just to try to win them over. I just be like this. This is my platform. You don't like it, go to somebody else's platform. And that's the bottom line. I'm not here to be trying. I don't do the popularity contest. If you like me, that's what's up. If you don't like me, oh well. You know, that's something that'll really mess up your self-esteem. And the last one, the YouTube numbers, the analytics. Some YouTubers are depressed because their numbers aren't where they want them to be. Let me give you an example. If you're on YouTube and you go viral, for example, and one of your videos gets 90 million views and it's shared across the ocean, everybody's talking about it, where do you go from there? Trying to get more viral videos is the answer from most people. And if they either surpass that or don't surpass that is what's going to happen. The times when it surpasses it, you're going to be higher and higher and higher and higher. And the times when it doesn't, it's going to be a letdown. And this is really like this is really an issue sometimes, because in the very beginning, sometimes I would do a video and it would be very well thought out, well researched. You know, it would take me weeks and weeks and weeks to, you know, look into it sometimes, and nobody watched the video. Or like 20 people watched the video, you know? And then I do a quick video, like a vlog or something, and 1,000 people watch it immediately. And I'm like, when I did and took my time to do this video, nobody watched it. But then I did one where I didn't even think about it and everybody watches it. So sometimes YouTubers can get disappointed and they can get depressed about that. But the way I deal with all of that, including that particular scenario, I just do the best I can every time. I do the best I can with each and every video. So the ones that people really, really like, that's great. The ones they don't like, maybe somebody else will need at another time. Because YouTube is not something that is, you know, live. It's a recording. So maybe my message today isn't heard or isn't received, but maybe in 20 years or 10 years or 4 years, somebody might Google or search it on YouTube, and then the message is useful for them. The thing about me, and I think this is what sets me apart from those people, number one, I don't look at the analytics. Some people look at them every day, compare their video to the last video. You know, they do all of that. I don't do none of that. I upload and I read and approve comments. That's it. Because what happens is, if you're looking to see how many likes you got, how many views you got, if you're looking and clocking all that every single day, you might become depressed and you might become just really anxious. So for me, I told myself in the beginning, I'm going to put out my message, I'm going to say what God has want me to say, and I'm going to step away. Whatever they do with it, that's what they do with it. And that's what I do every single time I upload. Likewise, I'm not here because I want to be famous. If I get famous, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. But I'm not here. And I think a lot of YouTubers come to YouTube to get famous. That's the end game. And then it doesn't happen. Or it doesn't happen fast enough. And they get depressed. I came to YouTube initially because my clients kept asking me the same questions over and over again about astrology, about readings, about cards. And I was like, you know what? If I put this on a video, I can just pass it. You know, whenever I get a new client, I can just pass them the video and they can see all the information and, you know, think about it or whatever the case is and get back to me. So that's why I started it. I started it just for that. It was only a couple people. It was me and my friends and then me and my clients. That was it. And I wasn't even expecting other people, even though it has been great to get other people. It's been wonderful. YouTube exceeded my expectations by far. Now, I have like 9,000 subscribers. I never imagined having more than like a couple hundred. So to me, it's like really, really cool. So that's how it started. And then when I moved to Costa Rica, I was in the mountains, in the beautiful mountains, in this little casita, and I was praying one day, and God has told me, use your platform to tell your story. And I realized from what she said that there was other people who were in my position. There was other people who were trying to heal. There was other people who had their own Voldemort. And I realized that if I tell my story, I can help those people. If I tell my story, I also can help myself get over my story. You know, I can get it out, you know, and I can move on and, you know, it's lifted off of me. And people who have the same testimony can see, oh, that's how she got out of that. Okay, maybe I can do something similar or use some of these ideas. So it became my way of helping you and me. So I didn't look to see how many people watched it. I never do. Sometimes I see the views, because when you pull the video up, it will show you the views. So sometimes I can see how many people viewed it. But I'm talking about people look at the graphs. They look at the little pie chart. They get into it. They know if they had higher views in January than February. And when you start getting into it like that, and how many likes, why didn't I get more likes? One time my godfather was talking about a video I did, and he was like, this should have got a lot more likes. And I was like, don't ever think like that, because that's when you start fucking up. That's when you start messing up right there. And he doesn't have a YouTube channel, not yet anyway. I'm trying to talk him into doing one. But I'm like, nah, you don't do that. You just do it for the sake of whatever your mission was. Whatever you came to do, that's what you do. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So I'm going to read to you two of my favorite comments. One came from Victoria Brown. Hi, honey. She said, Hotep. Hotep is an ancient Kemetic, which we call the Egyptians, saying. Hotep means basically supreme peace or peace, but it's a greeting. And Shem Hotep is when you're going away. So it's Hotep when you're coming, Shem Hotep when you're leaving. Sometimes you'll hear people on the internet call people Hoteps, and it comes from this terminology, but it's not a positive statement. They've turned it into a derogatory statement, but it's supposed to be a peaceful statement. So she said, Hotep Queen and my Aqua family, please be safe when protesting and wear your mask and gloves. Corona still here. I'm sending love. I have read everyone's message. Well said. I agree. Truly, please be safe. So she's talking about protesting and she's talking about Corona. Number one, if you're protesting, which I protested a lot. I led marches in college. A lot of people don't know it about me, but when I was in college, I led marches against racism on several different occasions. And I led maybe two marches for Mumia Abu Jamal. He was convicted of killing a cop. And this case never sat well with me. It just was like, something about this isn't right. So we marched to try to get him a new trial so the evidence can be looked at again. So we did that for, oh my God, like a year or two in college. And I protested other times in little small ones when I wasn't leading. But when you're protesting, I'm going to be honest with you, you have it was so much adrenaline out there. And a lot of times it is peaceful. Every time I've been in one, it's been peaceful. I've never been in a violent protest, thank goodness. Every time it's been peaceful. We've walked down the street and marched and sang and shouted and whatever, and got our point across. So if you're protesting, it is a lot of amazing energy, but it is dangerous. I mean, they could drop tear gas. Somebody could start a fire. Somebody not even with your group could start a fire, start a fight, Sometimes white supremacists will come to something like, if you're doing like a peaceful rally for like equality, an opposing group like white supremacists might come and try to start a fight with you or start a fight with you. I've been to gay pride marches, and straight people who were homophobic would come and taunt us or try to start fights and throw things at us. So I was at a pagan pride festival, and a bunch of Christians who were against pagans for no reason at all showed up and picketed us and had signs. So sometimes the opposition shows up and they start some stuff, Sometimes your own people start some stuff. So protesting is something that I've done, and I do think if people want to do it, they should, but you should be very careful. And the corona. During this time, people seem to have forgotten about corona. The last couple of days, people are like, corona, who that? Corona is still out there. And you wouldn't catch me marching. Not with corona out there. It's too many people, and it's impossible to socially distance in a crowd that large. She recommends wearing maybe a mask and gloves. I think the mask could actually be helpful, but you wouldn't catch me. I mean, a lot of people I saw on TV did have on a mask, but I would be so hot. When I was marching, I was hot. Let me tell y'all, it was hot. It was very hot. You marching miles and miles and miles with a mask on, I'm good. The last one is from Siberia Swan. I love that name. She said, Queen, you just perfectly described my complicated relationship with confrontation. I'm never a bully, but you're damn right. I'm always the one that finishes the fight. Also, it's not that I'm afraid of confrontation. I just hate, me too, I hate it. I hate how long I stay mad after. Yes, the threat is already gone. My dragon takes forever to calm back down once she's woke. Girl, I am with you on this. Me and you is right here on this one, because that's exactly what I hate. I hate confrontation. I hate how long it takes to calm myself down. I hate how long my dragon holds the grudge and I gotta keep begging the dragon to let it go. I do not like any of that. I like it when my dragon is asleep, and my dragon has been asleep for a long time now. And I like that. I like that a lot. Since I came to Costa Rica, the dragons only woke up like twice, and I'm really pleased with that. But anybody that has their own inner temper, their own inner dragon, y'all know what I'm talking about. It takes me too long to calm myself down, and very few people can calm me down. So I try to avoid it like the plague. And that's why I was talking about in the other video that she's responding to is triggers. So I try to stay away from my triggers. And I know that certain things like arguing with stupid people is a trigger, those kind of things. Because online, I've come to find this is the last thing I'm going to tell you. People talk real slick online. Online, they talk real slick, and then you see them in public, in person, and half of the time it ain't even all that. Number one, half of the time they don't even say nothing, and the other half of the time, it's like whatever beef y'all had was stupid. You might have been both in a bad mood or something. So I try to keep away from arguing with people that talk slick online and offline. All right, guys, it's time for me to Whew, it's time for me to get going and have some water. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who might like it as well. Thank you for being here. Come back soon. I got a lot more to say. And don't forget, if you really want a reading, email me and I will hook you up. I think my waiting list is a couple weeks long, but I'll get you in there. Okay? See you later.